She sold us the house in June. So.
Are they driving us home? I don't know.
She's late, so.
Okay, we're going to get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dave Schneider, and I'm going to be with you this morning. And what I'd like to do before we begin is just real quickly tell you my background so you know this guy is up in front of you, and then I'm going to get right into the information. My background, if I took you back about 25 years ago, I did not start out in the real estate business. I started out in the insurance business. And what happened to me is, as I was selling insurance, trying to build an insurance business, I sold some insurance to a real estate salesperson, who at that time convinced me that it'd be a good idea to get into real estate. Now, I didn't have any interest in real estate until he said this to me. He said, Dave, if you get into real estate, you'd be able to sell more insurance. Because it's pretty logical. You sell somebody a house, you have all this rapport with them. After you sell them the house, you can talk to them about the insurance on the house. And then after you sold them the insurance in the house, you can talk to them about dying, getting sick, having car accidents, and sell more insurance. So what I did is I got my real estate license about 25 years ago just to do it part-time so I could sell more insurance. And I got to tell you, gang, it really doesn't work out pretty well. When you have rapport with somebody, it's pretty easy to cross-sell. I was selling my insurance clients real estate. I was selling my real estate clients insurance. In fact, it worked out so well for me that after a real short period of time, I said this to myself. I said, I wonder if I can sell these people anything else. So I went out and did what I thought was the next logical thing to do. I went out and got my stockbroker's license with the idea that if these people had any money left, I was going to tell them exactly where to put it. So at one point in my career, I had a real estate license, insurance license, a stockbroker's license, and I used to do one-to-one financial planning. Now, notice I said at one point in my career, because I learned something really fast. It's really tough to be an expert in all those arenas. And I was really doing a disservice to my clients, and I was not practicing what I was preaching. So one day it kind of hit me, and I said, you know what? I need to start to focus. And when I started to focus, my focus obviously became real estate. So I got out of the insurance business. I have nothing to do with that anymore. Got out of the stock brokerage business. Got out of financial planning. And I focused on real estate. But I did not focus on real estate with the intent to sell it. I focused on real estate with one primary goal, which is still my primary goal today. And that is to go out and acquire as much real estate as I can with the intent to rent it out and let the renters pay for the buildings, and then once they're paid for, produce an income that I can live off for the rest of my life. And currently today, that's what I do on a full-time basis. I'm a real estate broker who works in the investment real estate field. And what that really means, if I boil it all down, gang, I'm a landlord. And what we're going to be talking about this morning is some of those aspects of investing in real estate and being a landlord. In fact, here's kind of the flow of the day. First of all, this day could be a day that anybody could be sitting in. You wouldn't have to be sitting here to be for real estate. It's really a day that anybody could sit in because it's going to talk about your money a little bit. And the way it's going to go is like this. My first hour this morning, I'm going to talk about what I call basic financial planning concepts by going to something called 10 Keys of Financial Success. That's how I'm going to start. Now, why am I doing this? Because first of all, would you agree when it comes to money, it's a sensitive subject? Would you agree we all have our beliefs of how we should not spend, invest, etc.? So what I'm going to do the first hour is just kind of set a foundation, talking about money, get everybody on the same level from a thought-wise about money. That's what we're going to do first. Then once I'm done with that, we're going to get into details. And a lot of details we're going to talk about this morning is this concept of taxation. And I'm going to show you, using real estate as a strategy, how you can possibly eliminate or reduce this idea of paying income tax each and every year through legal strategies using real estate as a tool. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to weave investment real estate into all this and talk about the concepts of investment real estate, some of the pluses, some of the minuses, etc., which is going to bring us up until about lunchtime. Okay, after lunch, I'm leaving you. Then what's going to happen this afternoon is, and I'm not sure who your instructor is this afternoon, but he's going to kind of follow on my instructions this morning. What he's going to do, he's going to teach you how you can analyze a property to decide if it's a good real estate investment or a bad real estate investment by walking you through a little worksheet that takes about 10 minutes to do once you've done it a couple times. And the reason we're doing this is because do you think when you're out there selling real estate, there's a possibility that a good deal might cross your desk? So we're going to show you how to analyze that to decide maybe this is something that you want to personally buy. Second reason we're going to bring you through this worksheet is because I will guarantee you that somebody else out there, when you're in real estate, will ask you about investment real estate. And the worksheet's a tool to use to explain to other people how it really works here in Minnesota. Okay, then when we're done with that, because that's for about an hour after lunch, we are going to move into you talking a little bit about your business. Things you need to worry about, such as what records you need to keep. We're going to talk about some of your tax deductions. We're going to talk about what's your chance of an audit when you enter real estate. I'll give you a little hint right now. When you enter real estate, what do you think happens to your chance of an audit? Goes up. We're going to talk about that, how you deal with that, etc. And then the last part of the day, kind of how we wrap things up. We talk not only about your business, we talk about how do you kind of take all this smorgasbord of financial information that's out there in the world and put it together into some personal and business type of a plan. So that's kind of how the day is going to go. So with that, here's how I want to start. If you all turn in your notes, you should be on page 429. We're going to start this morning with something called 10 Keys to Financial Success. What is it? 390. Yeah. All right. Let me give you a little pre-warning before we start with this, okay? First of all, where do these 10 keys that I'm going to present you come from? They come from us as ProSource or Kaplan instructors, okay? In other words, all the instructors you met since you started way back on the first day of Course 1, which seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? All the instructors you met since then to today, we basically sat down and said, on the last day of Course 3, what do we want to teach people about success? And we came up with a list of more than 10 items. These are just the top 10 things we chose to talk about. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't want you to think if you just do the 10 things I'm about to present you that everything in your life will work. It's not how life is. These are just 10 topics. And as I go through these 10 topics this morning, I got to ask all of you to do a couple things for me. The first is the most important. Gang, I got to ask you this morning to be very, very open-minded. Here's why. Some of the things that I say in this first hour as I present these 10 topics to you, some of you people in this room are not going to like. Oh, by the way, some of the things that I say in the second hour this morning, some of you people in this room are not going to like. By the way, some of the things that I say in the third hour this morning, some of you people in this room are not going to like, and some of you are going to make a decision about me by that time. You're going to decide you hate my guts. Now let me tell you why. It's because some of the things that I'm going to say to you this morning are going to attack your personal belief systems. Do your belief systems affect the way you spend your money? So I'm telling you up front, I'm going to attack you. Be open-minded. Okay, second point. As I go through these 10 topics this morning, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do any of these 10 topics that Dave guy's up there presenting apply to you personally or other people you associate with? Because do the other people you associate with in your life affect you financially? Especially those people you associate with intimately. Do they affect you like big time financially? So keep that in mind as I go through that. My last comment is this. So all I'm going to do right now is introduce the 10 concepts to you because the rest of the morning is the details. And with this, here's the first key to financial success I want you to jot down. Number one, you must have knowledge of money concepts. Okay, is that pretty vague? In fact, is that real vague? In fact, what have I taught you so far this morning? Nothing. I want to make sure you're clear on this. All right, here's the point. Most of you in this room, you have the ability to make money. And I know that or you would not be in this classroom because you had to pay for this class. You know how to make money. Most of you also know that whenever you make money, you're supposed to take a piece of that money, put it aside, and save it. True? Most of you know also whenever you save money, you should seek the highest rate of return on that savings. True? And most of you know that when you get that high rate of return, you should leave that high rate of return in there so that high rate of return can produce another high rate of return, thus compounding your rates of returns over a long period of time. And most of you know you should consistently do that throughout your entire life because I believe most of you in this room have the exact same goal that I have. That goal being that you want enough income being produced by whatever you invested in to provide you with the lifestyle that you want without you having to work. True? Okay, so that's the ultimate goal. And we all know that the only way we can get to that goal is to systematically invest in something. This is not any rocket science that I'm teaching you. You know this. If we all know that, then here's my big question in the morning. What's the problem?